What it is, Montano, Peace and Grease here. And today let's talk a little bit about the Catchmoon nerf. Now, if you weren't aware of it, the past few ribbon disposition changes, DE has really been just hammering the snot out of the Catchmoon disposition. And now DE is proposing a straight up just drag the Catchmoon out to the pasture, put two behind its ears, kick some dirt over it. Nerf. I mean, we're talking a full-on knock it in the dirt nerf. Now, as of this moment, if you're on console, if you haven't built the Catchmoon, but you do have access to Fortuna, get down to Fortuna, get yourself a Catchmoon so that you can at least experience it for a short period of time. Just don't sink a bunch of resources in it, or else you're going to end up in the same kind of situation as myself and many others. But the Catchmoon is a specific type of chamber for a kit gun, and it was highly, highly effective at removing large groups of enemies in just one or two shots. That's how crazy powerful this secondary was. But the problem with the Catchmoon isn't that it was just powerful, because I will be the first to admit that, yeah, some changes were needed to the Catchmoon. No argument here. But as I've said before in my other videos, I don't ever think that a nerf, this hard of a nerf, is ever acceptable or the ideal outcome. And we'll get into the reason why. But the whole reason why the Catchmoon did need changes, quite honestly, was because the Catchmoon was one of the best secondaries in the game. All right, not the absolute end-all be-all, but definitely one of the best. But that's not the issue. The issue is because the Catchmoon was creeping into the primary. I mean, literally, the Catchmoon was better than a large amount of primaries. So the Catchmoon's kicking in the door to the primary category like, what's up, y'all, some bitches. All of y'all bitches, except for you, Tigris. I respect you. But all the rest of you are bitches. So that was the problem with the Catchmoon. And DE is very much a... What's the best word to describe them? That they're kind of like that tray you get at BDR that has like little separate little walls that separate the different types of foods. Like this is where your corn goes, this is where your Salisbury steak goes, and your mashed potatoes, so on and so forth. And of course, the Catchmoon messes all that up, like mix this shit together type of attitude. So that's why I agree the Catchmoon did need changes. I mean, the fact that you have a secondary outperforming a very large amount of the primaries in the game, that's kind of a problem. I mean, me, myself, I've taken nothing but just the Catchmoon into high-level missions. And not only have I survived, I was A-OK and did very well with just the Catchmoon. Now, let's talk momentarily about why just hardcore nerfs are never an ideal scenario. If we look at this Catchmoon here, and this is going to be very much like many other players' situation, I've already got a catalyst on this Catchmoon. Gone. I can't get that back. I've already got 5 Forma in this Catchmoon. Gone. I can't get that back. I specifically bought this Arcane with standing to get it maxed specifically for this kit gun, and it is gone. I can't get that back. Furthermore, I have purchased a Riven for this kit gun. Gone. Can't get that plat back. I have sunk Indo and credits into this Riven to max it. Can't get that back. I have sunk Kuva into it, well, 17 times. Can't get that back. Not to mention my time and my resources to build multiple Catchmoons to min-max it. I can't get that back. It's gone. That's the problem when you blanket nerf something. And I'm not sitting here trying to say that DE is going to take this from us. No. But in a way, they are. And what I'm referring to is this. If there is a weapon, I don't care if it's primary, secondary, melee, arcwing, I don't care. If there's a weapon that I don't like, so we'll use the Mark I Furious, for example. I don't like this secondary. Don't like it. Won't use it. Not interested in it. There are so many other secondaries that are heads and shoulders and worlds above the Mark I Purist. I'm not going to put any effort into this thing. Why would I? It's a waste of resources. I mean, I would literally put resources into the Dex Purist before I did the Mark I Purist. But my point here is that I'm not going to sink a Catalyst or a Forma or time or resources or Arcanes or a Riven or Indo and credits and Kuba. I'm not going to do it because it's a complete and total utter waste of resources. This is where this problem with this nerf comes in, is that had players known ahead of time that DE was not only going to nerf this thing, but like drag it out to pasture and put 2 behind its ears and kick some dirt over its corpse, nobody would have sunk this amount of resources into the Catchmoon. They just wouldn't have. I can tell you, I certainly would not have. I would have been like, wow, this Catchmoon's amazing. Yeah, but DE's going to nerf it. Oh, well, I'm not going to put any resources in that then. That's the problem whenever you nerf something into the ground. Now, if you want to be an optimist, I support you entirely, man. I'll help you out any way that I can. But I'm hard pressed to think of a single piece of equipment in the entire time of Warframe, in the entirety of Warframe, that has ever been nerfed this hard and come back from it. I honestly am hard pressed to think of a single item. So do I think that these Catchmoon will be salvageable after these changes? Quite honestly, no. I've never seen it happen before, so I have no reason to think that it's going to happen now. So what about replacements for the Catchmoon? Is there such a thing? And quite honestly, I'm not going to BS y'all. You know me, I'm going to try and keep it 100 with you as much as I can. The simple fact of the matter is, there are no replacements for the Catchmoon. There is no weapon out there that I can say, we'll use this one. And you are going to be as satisfied with those weapons as you are with the Catchmoon. Because it's more than just stats when it comes to weapons. There are so many other characteristics about weapons that players will latch onto. They will strike a chord with players. It could be the way it shoots, could be the way it reloads, could be the way it sounds, could be the way it looks, could be any of those or all of those. Or any combination of those. Case in point, I'm a big fan of the Sobek. I run into a lot of people, they see me using the Sobek and they go, ooh, Sobek? I'm like, yeah, I love this thing. For some reason, the Sobek resonates with me. But there are many players that can't stand the Sobek. So it goes beyond just the stats. Now, the stats are just a Benny on the Catchmoon. On top of it, the stats are amazing. Bottom line, though, this nerf, I don't feel like there's any coming back from. So let's talk about some alternatives. Now, if you are of the mindset that you want to avoid kit guns entirely, because who knows what else DE is going to nerf into the ground in the future, I get you. I see what you're thinking. And you know what? Who can blame you? I can't. I mean, after all the wasted time and resources I've sunken in the Catchmoon, I'm a little hesitant to sink anything else into another kit gun. And so I more than likely probably would have, past tense, avoided it had I not already done that. Yeah. So a lot of content creators are recommending, well, just use another kit gun. Well, again, it's not that simple. The first kit gun we'll talk about is the Gaze. The Gaze is a kit gun I personally do not like. Furthermore, if I'm going to use this beam type of secondary weapon, I'm probably just going to go ahead and use the Cyanoid Gamma Core because I've already got it set up. I've already got the Forma, the time, the resources, and a Riven for it. So why wouldn't I just use that instead of the Gaze? Moving on, we can talk about the Tomb Finger. Now, I know there are a ton of people out there that love the Tomb Finger, and if you do, that's great for you because you don't have to worry about the Catchmoon getting nerfed. You still have kind of a backup secondary. I personally don't like the Tomb Finger. And it's not a stat thing, it's a characteristic thing. Meaning that I don't like the way that it shoots. When the Tomb Finger shoots, it shoots with like this... The graphics show like a blast. But with a lot of blast weapons, you're going to tend to shoot towards an enemy's feet. It's just subconscious. It's like second nature whenever we use kind of these blast type of weapons. So whenever I see that graphic on the Tomb Finger of that blast, I generally always go for the feet of the highest concentration of enemies. The problem is that the Tomb Finger's little blast or area of effect is very, very, very small. So 9 times out of 10 when I shoot at an enemy's feet, I don't hit anything. Or if I do, I barely hit them. So again, like I said, it's not a stat thing, it's a characteristic thing. That's why I just don't like the Tomb Finger. Now, I mean, granted, if you hit them, if you shoot them straight up, yeah, you're going to get that area of effect. But if you go to that subconscious, shoot at their feet, yeah, that's a bad scenario. So if you like the Tomb Finger, do it. Go for it. I'm not a fan. A lot of people like the Tomb Finger. Give it a try. Worst case, you get the MR from it. You don't like it, stop using it. It's just that simple. So let's move on to the last kit gun in this list. And the last kit gun I'm going to be talking about is the Rattle Guts. Now, Rattle Guts. Okay. Let's talk about this for a minute. Interestingly enough, about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, I actually unveiled a pistol ribbon and got a Rattle Guts ribbon mod. And I was like, oh, hey, look, a Rattle Guts ribbon mod. And I sunk a catalyst into it. And experimented with some of the other PAX Arcanes to see which would work really well with it. And tried it on status chance first. And I actually hated the secondary with status chance. It just didn't seem to be very effective for me. However, once I switched to crit, that's when things changed up. This thing does hit significantly harder as crit than it does with status. So it's definitely changed my opinion on the Rattle Guts. However, if you're looking for something similar to the Catchmoon that has a very large shot, a very large spread, and hits a lot of enemies within an area, Rattle Guts isn't going to do it. Not to mention the fact that Catchmoon could down most of those enemies with one shot. And the Rattle Guts, you're going to have to shoot one for a few times, shoot the next a few times, shoot the next a few times, and meanwhile, they're just blowing your head off, and the Catchmoon would have just downed them all. So what do you do? If you're looking for something with similar characteristics as the Catchmoon, there's really only one secondary that I can think of to take its place, and that's probably going to be the Mara Detron. The Mara Detron before kit guns was actually very good. Very, very good. The Catchmoon just really outclassed it and outshined it. But the Mara Detron is a perfectly serviceable secondary weapon, and in fact, I dare say it's a great secondary weapon. So, that's the answer to this riddle. If you're looking for something to a substitute for the Catchmoon, take a look at the Mara Detron. You can get this from Barrow Katir. Just keep an eye on his inventory whenever he shows up, and you can pick it up and experiment with it yourself. But anyway, that's kind of my 2 cents on the Catchmoon nerf and potential outs and contingency plans. As it stands now, that's kind of what I'm going to go for. But let me know what you think down in the comment sections. Are you a big Catchmoon fan? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you not use it? Have you not had a chance to use it yet? And until next time, peace and grease.